It's the footy coach here. Let's talk about Xabi Alonso and his impressive unbeaten Leverkusen team. How have they got this good, and why do Real Madrid want him? When Alonso joined Leverkusen, they weren't in a great place. Struggling, threat of relegation over their heads. He had a bedding in period where everything seemed to go wrong, but they soon picked up pace and got to the semi-finals of the Europa League, falling to Alonso's old coach Mourinho in 2 tight legs. This season though, Alonso has accumulated incredible knowledge under coaches such as Ancelotti, Guardiola, Mourinho and Benitez has led Leverkusen on an incredible run where they are the only unbeaten side in Europe, cruising through the Europa League group and topping the Bundesliga at the halfway mark with 42 points. 46 goals and only 12 conceded. How has he done this? Before his arrival, Leverkusen were a team that would get destroyed on transitions. Their young team lacked experience and were very unbalanced in defense. His first move was to change from a 4-2-3-1-4-3-3 system to a 3-4-3. This gave his team greater balance, and it was probably dictated by his defensive personnel too. The centre-backs at Leverkusen, Hincapi, Kosunu, Tapsova and Tar are young. Tar is actually the experienced head, but he's still only 27. All of them though are really quick and good on the ball. And having the 3 of them at the back means that this has given freedom to the 2 wing backs who were formerly playing as fullbacks, Frimpong and Grimaldo. As fullbacks, those 2 probably aren't at their best, as both are brilliant in the attacking half, Frimpong's pace being electric and Grimaldo having one of the sweetest left foots in world football. The 3 at the back has freed them of responsibility and allowed them to venture forward at will. The setup allows Leverkusen to basically also have 2 different setups in their attacking play. They sort of move up the pitch in a 4-2-4, and then when they get to the final third, this transforms into a 3-2-5 with those 2 wing backs acting as auxiliary attackers. This means that teams with a high line and pressure are in trouble once that press is broken, as Leverkusen use 6 players to build up the play to break that press. Then they have 7 players flying up the pitch in the transitions once that press is broken. Teams sitting in, they can't get out, similar to how other top teams squeeze the opposition into their own half. You see it all the time in the Premier League with Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal, just making sure that the ball is being played only in the opposition half. Here is also where the 3 centre-backs play their part. They repel any attempts at counter-attacks and break up any transitions from the opposition. So what makes it different from other teams, you might ask? One thing that I think Leverkusen do really well is they play the ball quickly. They zip passes around in triangles quicker than most top teams, meaning it feels as though they're always counter-attacking. These quick passes draw defenders in, creating spaces for third-man runs, which Leverkusen really love, and of course those third man runs overload those positions, once again drawing defenders across to those areas, leaving huge spaces elsewhere. The raw pace of the attackers and the wide players allows Leverkusen to exploit this often. One thing they do lack, I believe, is finishing from their young forward Boniface, who gets a lot of chances due to this style of football, but I think that's going to change now that Patrick Schick has returned to the side after a spell out, and he's definitely going to help their title challenge. The understated part of this Leverkusen team is probably its midfield. Xhaka, who was much maligned at Arsenal for a few years, provides leadership to this side, and he's always been a very good player on the ball, but here he takes on a kind of a secondary role. He's always taking up covering positions for this side. He knows where to be. That's his experience. And this also allows Palacios, who nominally sits alongside him in the midfield too, to have the freedom to be a defensive midfielder who wins the ball as high up the pitch as possible. Palacios is exceptional in this, and this helps the high press to stop quick transitions from the opposition. This gives freedom to who I think is the jewel in Leverkusen's crown, Florian Wirtz. Nominally a number 10 in a 3-4-3, supposedly a wide forward, but his creativity and ability in the half spaces allows the team to create chances at will. He's having an outstanding season, and so is Jonas Hoffmann, the experienced wide man who's contributed 5 goals and 7 assists in the league. And I don't think many expected that from him when he joined Leverkusen. Of course, with any tactical setup, there are vulnerabilities, just like with a Jurgen Klopp team, for example. The opposition break through the press, or Leverkusen lose the ball to a counter press, then the wide areas are exposed due to the high positioning of the wing backs. But this is also where the speed of the young centre backs comes into play. play, and they're really good at getting across quickly, and they're strong physical defenders, which obviously helps. So why do Real Madrid want Xabi Alonso? I think everyone who has seen him play has always thought of him as having one of the best tactical minds of his generation. His transition to coaching has been successful, and with Carlo Ancelotti supposedly going to Brazil, Real want to get Alonso in before he's picked up by another big club. Alonso himself is in no rush, as he stated that Leverkusen is a project that he wants to build, so we'll see what happens there. Real certainly do have the young players that would suit Alonso's style of football. Personally, I'm hoping he wins the Bundesliga this year with his exciting team, but of course Bayern Munich is such a powerhouse, it's a difficult task. That's the story so far for Alonso's tactical genius at Leverkusen. If you've enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, click the noti icon to see my newest videos, and as always, thank you for watching.